Hi, and welcome to this week's 5-minute Masterclass. This week I'm talking about strategy meetings, and I'm going to talk about what they are and when they are used. So a strategy meeting is a meeting that is called by the local authority when there has been a significant disclosure of abuse of a child. That can come after a child has been presented to A&E with an injury and the explanation either doesn't fit or the treating medic believes that the injury is non-accidental. It can come from a disclosure made to a caregiver who has reported it to the police or local authority. It can come from a disclosure that's been made to a teacher or a childminder, and that referral has then gone into the local authority. And it can arise as the result of any referral that has been made, but they are usually the avenues that a referral will come into a local authority or police. The strategy meeting itself is held either at the Offices of Children's Services, or it can be held at the police station if there is a victim unit or some such a place that could hold a meeting of professionals. And at that meeting there will be representatives from the local authority, there'll be a representative from the police, perhaps the school or nursery where the child attends, the treating medic or the medic who made the call that it was a non-accidental injury or that there were concerns about the injury, and any other professional that is involved with the child or children. If there are a few children, it may be that's a health visitor as well, and maybe school and nursery are involved also. The purpose of the meeting is for all the professionals to come together to determine what action needs to happen next. The police are looking at whether or not there is sufficient evidence for a criminal prosecution, and the local authority is looking at whether or not the matter needs to move forward to a Section 47 investigation. And all the parties who are in attendance will look at the evidence, will look at what's being shared, and will assist in terms of the next steps. So the process is that the local authority usually chairs the meeting, and thereafter everybody else will take their turn to say what has happened, or what their knowledge is of the child and or family, and whether or not they feel that there's further information necessary, or it gives a forum rather for these professionals to air their views in a safe environment, to say whether or not they have concerns, and if so, what those concerns are. It's the first point where all the professionals will get together and actually discuss how the case can move forward, and whether or not there is enough evidence to move on, as I say, to a criminal investigation, and how then the local authority proceeds. It may be that after a strategy meeting, the local authority has sufficient evidence to take the matter straight to court. More usually, the police will look at the situation and determine whether there needs to be a criminal investigation. The local authority will conduct a Section 47 investigation and will further evidence gather at that stage. Each of the professionals in the room has an opportunity to take part in those discussions and to say what information they hold, and also to work together to determine timelines for investigations to take place and what further information is going to be needed. So there may be police information needed, there may be more medical evidence required before the matter can proceed any further, just to make sure that the position is clearly known. It may be that the police determine that they have to interview the parents and or caregivers, and that may have to happen rather quickly. Alternatively, that could take a number of weeks before they feel that that is appropriate. It all depends on the severity of the case. But the purpose of the strategy meeting is for the professionals to get together and to determine what action needs to happen next and the timescales for that action to take place.